Hi guys, I'm just going to give you a quick tour of my ePortfolio for my Master's in Instructional Technology at Fort Hays State University. Just want to give you a general overview. So if you do click on general information, I just wanted you to know there's a YouTube video of me giving a quick introduction just so that you can get to know me a little bit. If you click on candidate info, it's my written introduction. I'm a wife of 9 years, a mom of 2 boys, 7, 3, and then I have an 8-month-old daughter. I am an adult basic education instructor at Fort Scott Community College. I teach mostly towards the GED test, but I also work on college readiness, career readiness, and technology. And then there are a few personal goals on this page and professional goals as well. Biggest goal being to implement Google Classroom into my curriculum and develop a curriculum for distant learning so that we can increase our number of students that we're able to help as well as supplement my classroom. Also want to graduate in May with my Master's of Instructional Technology, Master's of Science, and then by 2023 I'd like to take some more classes, professional development to improve my job status. Personal goals, I would like to improve time management and improve my work ethics and dependability. And then another personal goal is each year to take a family vacation in order to better my well-being and my family's feelings towards my job. Also under candidate info is my technology philosophy, which I didn't think much about before this class. But basically my technology philosophy includes the fact that technology is everywhere, so students need to be able to not only use technology, but manage technology systems, use digital tools, create project and materials with those digital tools, explore real-world issues, solve problems, think critically, work collaboratively, basically, as well as set individual goals and use technology to help them achieve those goals. My philosophy also mentions the fact that educators have a responsibility, and the biggest responsibility is for educators to train themselves or ask someone to train them in the technology so that they understand what they're using and what they're teaching students to use and how to effectively use that technology to make the most engaging classroom and motivating classroom that you can. It is also teachers' responsibility to provide the safety and ethical use of digital tools. Also under candidate info, you'll find my resume. Just kind of highlights my education, if it will come up here, as well as my teaching experience, my professional teaching experience. I'm sorry. You can click on it and just kind of scan down to see. Also my honors, special skills, licensure, and then some of my references. Activity evidence, you have my professional development training plan, which again is mostly to incorporate Google Classroom into my classroom, teach the students how to log in, navigate, create assignments, post comments, then also to use Google Classroom to create digital tools such as Powtoon presentations, other digital tools that are available in Google Apps, and then also train instructors how to use those tools. So part of this was to create an infographic or presentation. Along with activity evidence, you also have my presentations, which I used in my trainings. So you have a video of my Google Slides presentation about Google Classroom. This I used to show students what the Google Classroom looked like and what is under each section of the Google Classroom and how to do the basic things that you can do in there. I also have a Prezi presentation on the GED test that I let my peer go over so that she could kind of just go through and see what a Prezi presentation would look like. And then I also have a Powtoon video on critical thinking, just so my students could see what a Powtoon video looks like and to spark their interest and for them to be able to create one. Next, under activity evidence, you have the videos of me providing face-to-face training. So I have my peer training on how to use Prezi to create a visually appealing presentation in order to model digital tools and resources for my colleagues. And then I have a video of me showing my students how to create a Powtoon presentation. We created one together. They really enjoyed this, and this helped me to engage them in what they were learning. And then I have a Google Classroom, a video of me training my students how to use Google Classroom, walking through those slides. And then I also taught them how to log in, navigate, complete an assignment, post on the stream, comment on each other's posts. This also created an opportunity for that safety and responsibility. I explained why they needed to verify their identity, remind them to always log out of things on a public computer, and then reminded them to be respectful and appropriate when using the online platforms to post. I also, under activity evidence, have my article summaries. There are 3 of them. One of them was an article summary on how Google Classroom will help me to effectively integrate technology into adult ed classroom. Another was an article review about creating presentations. This was about a PowerPoint presentation, but I felt like these suggestions could be applied to any presentations that are developed using the digital tools available. And then my last article summary was a digital tools article summary from Edutopia, and this focused on what educators should focus on in order to effectively integrate digital tools into the classroom to help them meet their classroom objectives. So I also like the fact that it highlights it's important that educators put learning first by exploring the approaches made and by reflecting on the effectiveness of the digital tools being used. Then you have my extra resources. So I have a Zoho presentation, which was a lot of fun, but I made it into a video of different hypermedia and digital tools that are available to help increase student engagement and motivations. Definitely check that out because there are a lot of cool tools available. This was, if you click on it, you can see it's a Coggle, which is kind of like a brainstorming resource. Graphic organizer. My next one was a learning needs assessment, which I use to ask my students questions about their backgrounds, their different learning styles, things that they enjoy, their interests. That way it helps me to meet the diverse needs of my students. Then I have a video I created about Infogram, which is a partially free tool, and I mostly use it to enter student data to keep track of it in order to communicate with students and parents and help build student self-direction. Then I have a bring your own device policy research that I developed, and this is important to me because most of my students have devices that they're comfortable with and that they could use with the one-on-one technology in my classroom. It can help us use the resources we have and save money. Next, I have a paper on the different instructional design methods, which is interesting, could help educators figure out what instructional design is important to them or is that they like to help deliver lesson plans depending on the diverse needs of the students again, and allowing us to dive deep into instruction. Next, I have a video on Mindomo. This is a Google app for students to use in order to brainstorm, review assignments, and even create graphic organizers if they're doing research or trying to develop a presentation themselves. It's a great way to organize information. It's very visually appealing. And then I have some research that I did on using online materials. This would be great for educators to look at so that they understand the basic laws for Creative Commons, copyright, and trademarks, and know how to use materials found online without breaking the law. And then lastly, I have a slides presentation that I created on visualization to show people what cognitive overload is, why it's important to avoid cognitive overload, and why visualization and the choices that we make when creating presentations are important, whether it be presentations, online platforms, or even assignments that we create for students. So this is something I could use for colleagues or students. And then Lastly, you have my reflection of the class. So definitely take a look at that. And if you just scroll down, you can see I was kind of nervous about some of my master's instructional technology classes because the words were very intimidating, like research and leadership. I was also a bit nervous about the ePortfolio online. I wasn't sure how that was going to work, and about videotaping myself. Turns out a lot of classes were very helpful and they weren't intimidating at all. The videotaping myself wasn't bad at all because I just taught like I would in the classroom. I need to focus more on the content of the class and not the titles, especially if I'm looking into professional development or classes I can take later. And then basically my goals and how I have met them and my professional development plan in this MIT program and this class have helped me to learn so many digital tools and materials that and resources that I can use to focus on the many diverse learning styles in my classroom. So this course, this program was amazing for my learning and for my classroom. All right, if you have any questions, look me up and shoot me a question. Thank you.